The undefeated Eagles host the Broncos in a game my model forecast to be a very close one. I have Philadelphia winning this one to stay perfect, 22-21. Well, the Eagles, their win streak is pretty incredible. They've won 20 of 21 games since their bye last season, and that, of course, includes the playoffs. And they've averaged 32 points in their last 2 games after just 22 in their first 2 games. On the other side, Nick Bonito leads the NFL with 27 quarterback pressures this season. The Vikings will play in their second international game in as many weeks, this time in London as opposed to Dublin, where they take on the Browns, who are now starting Dylan Gabriel under center. In this matchup, I forecast the Vikings to win 26-19. Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison both had at least 100 yards in Addison's first game off of suspension last week. And on the other side, it's always about Myles Garrett, who's 8th in pressures this season with 20.
And Jordan Love is going down.
That was a party at the quarterback.
In an interconference matchup between the Dolphins and Panthers, I still have Miami, even without Tyreek Hill, coming out on top 24-22. The Dolphins have now scored at least 21 points in 3 straight games, and the Panthers defense has only pressured opposing quarterbacks on 24% of dropbacks. That ranks 31st in the NFL, or second lowest. In an NFC versus AFC matchup between the Cowboys and Jets, I have Dak Prescott and company coming out on top 26-24. Prescott leads the NFL in passing yards with 1,119. And let's look at this matchup a little bit, because the Jets, they've played man coverage on 38% of dropbacks, the 7th highest rate in the league. And they've allowed a 67.5 completion percentage when doing so. That's the 29th or 4th lowest completion percentage. They've allowed 20 of 40 for 308 yards and 6 touchdowns in man. Only the Browns have allowed more touchdowns in man at 7. And their defense is not getting after the quarterback very often. In fact, they're only pressuring opposing quarterbacks on 29.4% of dropbacks. That ranks 26th in the NFL. The Las Vegas Raiders head to Lucas Oil Stadium for a matchup with the Indianapolis Colts. My model has the home team coming out on top 29-21. Why? Well, part of it is because of how well Daniel Jones has been performing against the blitz. In fact, he leads the NFL with 470 passing yards and a 62% success rate when teams have brought an extra pass rusher against him this season. The Raiders are blitzing at the 10th highest rate, 33%. However, they're only getting pressure on 32% of their blitzes. That ranks 25th in the NFL. The New Orleans Saints play host to the New York Giants in Jackson Dart's second career start after winning his first one. And I have the Saints winning this one 22-21. Spencer Rattler has been great against the blitz, throwing 3 touchdowns with no interceptions this season and having a 67.6 completion percentage against it. That's 8th best in the league. The Giants defense is blitzing on 33% of their dropbacks this season, the 9th highest rate. Now, Jackson Dart, let's look at his time to throw in week 4 against the Chargers. Just 2.48 seconds. So quick passes. Russell Wilson, he was averaging 2.74 seconds in weeks 1 through 3 combined. Quick passes without Malik Neighbors will be more difficult. Thus, the Saints win. In a matchup between the Ravens and Texans, I have Baltimore coming out on top 23-21. Despite a slew of injuries to the Ravens, one player I believe they can count on is Derrick Henry. Yes, he's had 12 or fewer rushing attempts in 3 straight games after having 18 in week 1, but this is where things turn around. He's still averaging the 2nd most yards before contact in the league. I think Derrick Henry plus a lot of yards after contact are the prescription in this matchup. The Titans head to Arizona for a matchup with the Cardinals. My model has the home team Cardinals winning 27-18. Kyler Murray, his average time to throw is 2.63 seconds this season. That is the fastest of his career. And 55% of his passes are quick passes. That's actually the 5th highest rate in the NFL. Well, the Titans defense, they are allowing 6.9 yards per attempt on quick passes, which ranks 26th in the NFL. The Bucs travel all the way to the Pacific Northwest for a matchup with the Seahawks. My model has Seattle coming out on top 23-21. Now, Sam Darnold, he's averaging 10.1 yards per attempt this season when not under pressure. That is the 2nd highest rate in the NFL. The Bucs defense, though, has the 2nd highest pressure rate. So they will need to focus on keeping Sam Darnold clean. Run game plus what? Play action could be the antidote to that. Darnold is averaging 11.9 yards per attempt on play-action passes, which is 2nd best in the NFL. So perhaps run game plus play action will help slow down that pass rush.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
In a battle of big cats who both reside in the Midwest, that's Detroit at Cincinnati, I have the Lions coming out on top 31-21. Detroit has scored 34 or more points in 3 straight wins after just 13 points in week 1 against the Packers. And Aiden Hutchinson, he's tied for 3rd in the NFL with 22 quarterback pressures this season. Now, Jake Browning has the lowest passer rating under pressure at 25.6. The Washington Commanders head to SoFi Stadium for a matchup with the Chargers. My model has LA coming out on top 24-22. Quentin Johnston has got 10 of 15 targets for 147 yards and 3 touchdowns against man coverage this season. And the Commanders defense plays man at the 8th highest rate, 34%. The Chargers have to find a way to keep Justin Herbert clean without both of their starting tackles, though. His 78.7 completion percentage when not under pressure, that is 6th best in the NFL. In an AFC East matchup between the Patriots and Bills in Buffalo, my model has the home team Bills winning 30-22. Josh Allen is averaging 9.3 yards per attempt on quick passes this season. That ranks 2nd in the NFL. He also has 4 touchdowns with no interceptions on such passes. And the Patriots defense, they are allowing 7.6 yards per attempt to quick passes. That ranks 29th in the NFL. And on Monday Night Football, Kansas City heads to Duval for a matchup with the 3-1 Jags. My model has the Chiefs coming out on top, 23-21. The Chiefs offense looks so much better with Xavier Worthy back. In fact, on quick passes, Mahomes went 17 of 22 for 142 and earned 3 of his 4 passing touchdowns. That's a 6.5 yard per attempt average, if you want to know. In the first 3 games of the season on these quick passes, Mahomes had 1 touchdown with 1 interception and averaged just 5.2 yards per attempt. However, the Chiefs offense needs to limit turnovers against the Jags defense because they lead the NFL with 13 takeaways.